Don't you love the way CNN acts like everything is science? They're going like, we have to find out scientifically why. Just why do people not like Biden? Why? We're going to get into the chemical tests and get out our electron microscope and find out just why is Trump so appealing. Here's CNN getting into the science of, holy cow, Trump's more popular. We remember last month when we said that Trump's popularity was waning? Well, last month, they were lying to you again.
I think it's time for a bit of a reality check, right? We were going to late April. Donald Trump's approval rating, his net approval seemed to be falling. He seemed to be adios, amigos. People were writing his political obituary. He is rising from the dead. Look at this.
It's common sense, you big dummy. You don't have to do a poll. Why do you think Joe Biden's a corpse? Kamala Harris is an imbecile. Trump really is an appealing, interesting character that people trust. They're going like, well, it can't be that. No, it's actually that. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TenNapel, creator of Earthworm Jim, the Neverhood Cat Scratch, video games, comic books, animated series. And now I just bring you 4 videos a day. And if you're in the Quad Club, that means you watch 4 videos a day and leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. Tell us down below. You just go Quad Club and we know what you mean. See, it's a shorthand. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Trump's net approval rating among voters. This is the Reuters Ipsos polling. Look at this. In late April, he was 8 points underwater. But look at where he was in the most recent poll among voters. He's up 7 points to a -1 point net favorability rating. This is not the picture I think a lot of people were thinking that we would be painting in late April. I think a lot of people expected his approval rate to keep dropping, but at least according to Reuters Ipsos, it's in fact rising.
Put this then.
Do you know why it initially went down? It's because they were all telling lies about Trump. So you get a tiny bump down, but then the Trump backlash effect kicks in. That's when the people, they go from thinking of him kind of as a villain to the left attacks him and media attacks him so hard that he starts to look like a victim. And people naturally have some kind of compassion for a victim, whether if the victim is justified or not. They just go, you know what? All this attack on Trump, it is totally unjustified. But the bottom line is Trump's legacy is secured. Democrats are screwing up and wrong in the worst way possible. Now, here's Verizon. This is some real interesting news to me. Verizon is ending their DEI policies. Remember, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I can't get in very close on this document, so I'll just read it to you. This is to Honorable Brendan Carr, the Federal Communication Commission, where he demands that Verizon end its DEI program. This is the most important point. In response to this changing landscape, Verizon has been evaluating its DEI-related programs, HR processes, human resources. We all know, guys, human resources where all the DEI fraud stuff takes place. Human resources processes, supplier programs, training programs, and materials, and other initiatives. In doing so, Verizon recognizes that some DEI policies and practices could be associated with discrimination. I'm going to say that again to your friends that practice DEI. It could be associated with discrimination. That is, you guys who are for DEI are practicing discrimination. Your friends who claim to be anti-racist are actually the ones acting racist, discriminating against good, qualified people with their politically correct people that check the box, and we all know what the boxes are. And then here's the good news. Verizon is changing its HR structure because all of this stuff was implemented through HR, where the legal guy would come in and go, we heard you make a certain comment, or you looked sideways at this, you complimented this girl's blouse. And human resources, this is the evil, satanic Marxism. It's all passive aggressive and it's all mental abuse. They never come out and just say it. They have to go like, from the side, come in. And always with a tacit threat that, so we could legally protect our company, we're going to have to remove you because you're too big of a liability, especially when you're white, straight, and male. It never happens to the other minorities, no matter how sexist they are, of course. Or if they're executives and owners of the company, they get a complete pass as they grope every single person who walks by them in the coffee shop. If you're a big enough executive, you get a free pass. On tariffs, This is another great defense. Watch this. On Walmart is claiming they're going to have to raise prices because of tariffs. But these Walmart execs, they're all woke. Walmart's woke. They're not a Christian company anymore. Quit saying that. They're woke, communist, anti-Trump, pro-rainbow, pro-racism, they hate women. Walmart is a terrible company. Don't you dare call it. I get it. They're trying to do 75% of the products made in America. I totally agree with that. Hats off to them for that. But now that the tariffs are coming their way, we're going to have to raise all our prices. Well, don't you mean you're just going to raise the prices on the stuff that comes in from other countries, meaning only 25% of your store? Or are you lying?
I thought they brag about how much they make in America. Why do they have to worry about raising prices?
Walmart walks around bragging that 75% of the products that they sell are made here in the United States. Why are you raising prices? If it's because they are reshoring their manufacturing, I understand, but that's not what he said. He said it's because of the tariffs. And I just have to say, Brian, do you know what Walmart's yearly profits were last year?
What?
$169 billion. Don't raise prices. Support the president. Support the agenda. Support the American working.
They're like, no, but we're Democrats. We can't support Trump. Remember, most Walmart shoppers, I know most are conservative, right? They voted for Trump. Most of them did. The owner of Walmart is using this as an opportunity to politically attack Trump and try and dive bomb him in the name of greed and their own weirdo backwards. I can't explain it. I try not to do psychotherapy on my show, so I can't tell you what the motive is for Democrats other than they're murderous and satanic. That's the only motive I can come up with. I don't believe their reasons that they give because I showed it over and over again how they don't mean what they say.
We're ignoring the massive amount of private investment that's coming into the country. We're ignoring the rebound in the stock market. We're ignoring the trade deals that have been cut and are currently being cut. So I'm not arguing that that Walmart shouldn't be listened to, but at the same time, there is some indication that maybe some of these fears have been overblown. I'll just say one more thing. When inflation was raging out of control under Biden, every Democrat rushed to every television camera to argue that it was corporate greed. So I'll be interested to see if Democrats are anxious to take up Walmart on this today. Is it still corporate greed or is it going to be total Trump blame?
That's painful.
It's painful because you know it's true. Remember that? Kamala Harris goes, they're taking advantage of you under Biden. Walmart, they're doing price gouging at the grocery store. That's why your grocery prices are going up. It's price gouging. We have to put price controls on them. And they would blame the big corporate, the store and everything. And now it's under Trump. And they're like, oh no, Walmart, the left's going, well, they're our best friend. It's Trump's tariffs. When it comes to politics, the media, corporations, and all your Democrat friends are not telling you the truth. If they just admitted it, you know what? If your Democrat friend at church, okay, who is marching, we know someone in LA, one of our Democrat Christian friends, who's out marching against Elon Musk on the streets of LA. You know what if she just said, this is purely my politics. I have a bias. I just hate Trump and I just hate conservatives and I believe every lie about them that's told to me. And then I slap a big fat cross on it and slap my Christian religion on it and pretend like it's in the Bible. If they just said that, I'd go, well, at least you're telling the truth and you're normal, not your psychotic gaslighting under a spell and in a cult. No cult admits they're biased. And that's when it's dangerous, when they think they're being neutral. Okay, next up here is Scott Jennings on more of the Democrat strategy is just to screw themselves into the ground because they can't find any traction on who to run in 2028.
And why are they angry? Because the party isn't being ornery enough in Washington and liberal enough. I mean, that's just it, right? The lesson that the base has learned from the last election is we're just not far left enough. And
the Democrats think they haven't made enough death threats against Trump.
Until you shed your allegiance to illegal aliens, boys and girls sports, and higher taxes, the American people do not want this. And it doesn't matter who you nominate, because if the base is going to push the nominee of the Democratic Party in those three directions, and I have no reason to believe that they won't do that in the 2028 primary, you're going to have a devil of a time convincing people that you can actually act normal during a campaign.
But they will try. Now, this is what's important about the Democrats. If they're going to run on open borders, transing kids, ripping on Trump, whatever, they have to first convince their audience of it. It means they're going to try to drag and manipulate all of America once again into believing the kids ought to be trans. that the border ought to be open and it's secure. They're going to say Trump's robber barons are just trying to make a profit. Elon Musk made a Nazi salute and his companies must be stopped. They have to convince a bunch of voters. So they're going to try and drag all of America down this evil thought hole is their agenda, or they can't win an election. They have to first convince you of that. Now, here's my favorite. I'm ending on a great piece of dessert. This is Trump on Bruce Springsteen. He just insults him in the worst way possible, an absolute demolition of that pagan hippie known as Bruce Springsteen. I see the highly overrated Bruce Springsteen goes to a foreign country to speak badly about the president of the United States. Never liked him. Never liked his music or his radical left politics. And importantly, he's not a talented guy. Just a pushy, obnoxious jerk, all caps. Trump called Bruce Springsteen a jerk. That's the president of the United States calling an obnoxious jerk who fervently supported crooked Joe Biden, a mentally incompetent fool and our worst ever president, who came close to destroying our country. If I wasn't elected, it would have been gone by now. Our country, guys. Sleepy Joe Biden didn't have a clue as to what he was doing, but Springsteen is, quote, dumb as a rock, unquote, and couldn't see what was going on, or could he? Which is even worse. This dried out, quote, prune of a rocker. His skin is all atrophied. Come on, I thought this was a parody post when I read it. Trump actually wrote this. His skin is all atrophied. Ought to keep his mouth shut until he gets back into the country. That's just standard fare. Then we'll all see how it goes for him. Oh my word. Bruce Springsteen, wrinkly old prune, skin atrophied, and an obnoxious jerk. Born in the USA. I'm Doug in Exile.